Already mic testing, mic testing. Okay, perfect. Let me go to my main camera. Already we're live. And guys, I'm actually getting the center of my screen. Give me a sec, guys. Let me just go ahead and decrease my OBS from there. Go ahead and open this. Hold on, guys. Let me give me a sec to actually get my intro. I was about to stream like 10 minutes sooner, but then a lot of things happened in the middle, guys. Like for some reason, my stream was not actually connecting to my YouTube stream, so I had to like reset my stream key and all that stuff. That said, I'm gonna go to something like playlist, go all the way down here to, there we go, let's go there. Okay, perfect. Hold on, guys, let me go all the way up here. Okay, maybe I gotta go ahead and mention you guys in my Discord as well. The reason I did start the stream right now before like actually preparing and all that, because guys, I had like almost 0 time right now. Okay, that's it. Let's go all the way there. There we go. Now let's go ahead and refresh it from here. There we go. Okay, let's set my mobile stream there. Let's go ahead and copy my horizontal streams to stream key. Wait, guys, is both my streams vertical? Okay, good. I thought both my stream was vertical for a second. That's it. Let's go ahead and just copy this. Let's open my Discord server. Gonna paste it. Go with something like add everyone. Okay, we live exclamation. Alright, perfect. Let me go ahead and exit my Discord real quick. Get Gemini here. Go ahead and open my Unreal Engine as well. I opened Blender by mistake. Hold up, guys. There we go. Let's go ahead and get my Unreal Engine up. My Gemini up there. Let's go ahead and extend Gemini from there as well. Okay, and then let's go ahead and get my chat back here. And then let's go ahead and get my second chat here. Guys, how did I manage to close my second chat? Howdy Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, let me go ahead and create, go live. Alright guys, almost done. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and get this here. Guys, the worst thing is my Twitch and Kick stream. Those streams don't even have like, whatchamacallit, a starting, not a starting stream, but then those streams don't even like have a waiting period. It's like as soon as I hit live, it just goes live. That said, we're live, and as you guys can tell by the title and thumbnail, today I'm going to be working on more game logic in Unreal Engine 5 using C++. That said, last stream I did like making my player move and all that stuff, but I was like working on a target system where my player can actually hit my NPC or a certain target using raycasting. This stream I am going to be going over that. So finally, without any further ado, let me go ahead and go to my gameplay screen. Guys, this took way too much time. I just like came back from my college and like this was a big mess to get on. Okay, that's it. Let's go to my variables here. Now, let me go ahead and say something like, Sensei, I'm live, exclamation. Let's go with something like, Sensei, I'm live, exclamation. Okay, and just to be sure if this is the correct chat, were we working on a target system in UE5 question mark? Where I ended the stream yesterday, but today I wanted to work on a system where the player can hit the let's say something like the target question mark. Okay, that's where we stopped last chat. That said, welcome back to the dojo. You're in the right place. The stream is live and the energy is high, and yes, we're exactly where you left off. Yesterday you prepped the NPC target infrastructure. Today we give you player strike. Okay, they're improving the character that can move to a warrior that can conquer. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus, led by Bruce Lee. The mission, line tracing. And guys, just to make sure if my Unreal Engine is correct, is I want to like run the code here. Okay, pretty sure this is the wrong Unreal Engine, so I'm going to go to something like home. I'm going to go to my projects. Pretty sure it was my project 4, right? Was it my project 4? It's my project 5. Okay, it's not 4, it's 5. Hold on, guys. Okay, while my project 4 is opening. Oh, wait, did I click 4 or 5? And why is my Unreal lagging so much in my stream? Hold up, guys. I see pixels. Let's go ahead and text something like yes, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get that there. I'm gonna go to home. It's my project 4, right? Oh, it's my project 5. So my project 5. Okay, this is my project 5. So I'm gonna go ahead and cancel that. Let's grab my Unreal Engine in my this window. There we go. Let me just go ahead and increase it from the sides just a little. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and increase it from here. Extend it from the bottom as well. Now I'm gonna go to my, let's say, untitled project. Gonna go to content drawer and load my map in. Okay, and guys, why is my Unreal Engine kind of lagging? Okay, maybe because I'm using the wrong mouse. Let me just go ahead and unplug this mouse and use my battery powered mouse. Let's go ahead and run the code. Well, this is my project 5, right? Why don't I see my pixels or anything? What is there something that I see in my content drawer? I see input, I see IA look, IA move, IA underscore RB. These were the contents that I added last stream, but I do not see my C++ classes. That could be because I could go ahead and exit my Unreal Engine there and go ahead and execute it from my Visual Studio so I can actually see my class and all that stuff. Okay, that's it. Let's wait for it to execute. While it's executing or like opening through my Visual Studio, I might drink some water. Okay, and guys, the reason I'm kind of blank on like what I was just doing is because I just like came from college. My mind is just already filled with a lot of things. Are you using engine something? Honestly, I am using like Unreal Engine. There we go. Now I should be able to see my classes. Let's go ahead and get my Unreal Engine here. Extend this from here. Remember my choices. Hit yes. There we go. Okay, so basically this is my Unreal Engine project. If I were to go to something like content. What up guys, let's go to something like content and then I'm going to go to something like untitled. This is my file. Now I can see all my classes. I can go ahead and see my target here. I can go ahead and see my player, my player's camera, my player's capsule, and my player's spring arm. If I were to run the code, that's my player. I can go ahead and move him around. If I don't click my right mouse button, then I can just move my mouse around. If I get close, I can go ahead and just collide with this and all that stuff. There we go. At least we're in the correct project, guys. Guys, let me know if my stream is lagging for some reason when I use Unreal Engine. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and get Gemini up here now. Okay, and then let's see something like... Okay, let me see something like... Actually, Gemini did say a bunch of things. Let's read this real quick. Okay, the mission, the line tracing raycast. This is what we were going to work on today, raycast. And the reason I did like set my thumbnail to be like game logic was because I used like a already created thumbnail because I did not have time to like make a brand new one. That said, to make the player hit the target, we use a line trace image and invisible, perfectly straight laser beam firing from your camera. Okay, if that laser hits your NPC, which is our actor, we tell that NPC to take damage. Step 1, the player header, my player.h. You already have movement, but now you need the attack action and the function. Protected, the input action, assign this in the editor. So in my U property, I'm going to require, I add 3 parameters for an input action, which is edit anywhere, blueprint read only, and category is going to be input. Class is going to be from my U input action. I'm going to call it something like action. The function that performs the hits, I'm going to go ahead and create a attack function. Step 2, the attack logic in my player.cpp. I mean, everything is correct. I think just it needs a quick little memory refresh or something like that. Let's go with Control-A, Control-C, copy that, go ahead and get Gemini back up here. Let's go ahead and paste this. Okay, and guys, I'm so confused, like, what chat was this? Was I, like, doing this in, like, a different chat? I just want, like, Gemini to recall where we stopped last stream. This is, like, an old chat as well, so that might be another reason. I have to, like, probably change the chat. Okay, let's go up here. Let's go ahead and... Hold up, let's go with Control-A, Control-C. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Fill out your project, that's NPC, okay. Stops at Delta time. Whoops. Didn't want to do it that way. Okay, let's go ahead and extend that. Can I edit it? Okay, wait, hold up, guys. Can I edit this? Okay, let me go all the way up here real quick. There. Okay, I can edit it, perfect. I'm gonna go with Shift Enter and not just Enter. Let's go ahead and paste this. Can I paste it? I'm positive I copied this. Control-A, Control-C. Let's go ahead and paste this here. Wait, am I? Oh, I think I'm spam pasting this stuff. Okay, guys, let me try to focus a bit when doing this. I'm gonna go with Control-A, delete everything. Now, let's go one step at a time. Gonna go with Control-A, Control-C, get Gemini here. I'm gonna make sure that I paste everything one time, go with Shift Enter. Now I'm gonna go to my pixels header file, guys. My pixel is like my player name. Let's go ahead and paste it. Go with Shift Enter. I'm gonna go to NPC, so C++ file. Okay, go here to Gemini. Let's go ahead and paste it. Go with last final Shift Enter. I'm gonna go here, go with Control A, Control C, copy that. There we go, and then let's go ahead and paste this. Now let's go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. Just so we're on the same page, this is the code that I stopped at last stream. My character is called Pixel and my NPC is called NPC. Okay, let's go ahead and enter now. This is going to be a whole different chat here. Excellent, the dojo has restored. Your foundation for a pixel and NPC is solid, and I see you've already implemented the right mouse button RMB gate to your camera. That is clean work. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus. I think I already got that quote. That said, now we're going to bridge the gap between your character's intent and the NPC's health bar. Okay, we need to add the attack logic a pixel so you can actually call the receive hit function you wrote it at NPC. The battle plan, the line tracing strike, we're going to implement a line trace raycast. This will fire an invisible beam from your camera center. If it hits a NPC, we deal damage. Update the header pixel.h, add this to your protected section. We need an input action for the click and the function to handle the logic. So I gotta add this basic thing. I already know what this is about. Next up, we go with something like implement the attack in my C++. This is the laser logic. We shoot a line 500 units forward from your eyes, okay? A pixel, so I declared my attack function in my header files, but I'm gonna go ahead and define it in my C++ file. That's what I'm doing here. Firstly, we get the camera's viewpoint. I use a f vector, which is represented by a I locations point local variable. And then I go ahead and add a f rotator, which is represented by I rotations as local variable. And then I use the get actor I viewpoints as function that requires two parameters. I'm assuming f vector and f rotator. Okay. Step 2, set the endpoint 500 units ahead. F vector, which is going to be represented by a local variable called trace end, that is going to be equal to I location plus I rotation dot the vector function multiplied by 500.f. I'm assuming that's units. Howdy Bram, I appreciate you joining the stream. Okay, that said, f hit result, which is going to be represented by a local variable called hit. Okay, this is basically the same thing that I did with my collision. This shouldn't be as hard, so I go ahead and use the f collision query parameters as structure and represented using a local variable called query parameters or params. I'm assuming params like the short form for parameters. That said, query params dot the add ignored actor this. Don't hit yourself. Perform the trace if get world points towards line trace single by channel. Hit I location trace ECC underscore visibility query params. Okay, these parameters I might wanna actually learn again. If that is the case, then did we hit an NPC? A NPC target NPC equals to cast NPC blah 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 dot get hit. Okay, let's see, and then I gotta find stuff. Since it's critical checklist, before you compile, you must ensure editor is ready. Create IA attack in your browser. Okay, before I really write the code on my own or something, I do wanna like see if it works. So I'm firstly gonna go down here. Let's go ahead and paste this. That's gonna be IA attack. I'm gonna copy my attack function. Let's go ahead and delete this from here. There we go. Let's go ahead and delete that. I'm gonna go ahead and paste my function here. My IA attacks function. And then I'm gonna go ahead and get Gemini here. And guys, the reason I do like kind of copy this first is to check if the code really works. If it does work, then I'm gonna go ahead and learn it up. Okay, that said, where do I want to paste this function? Maybe I'm going to go here. Let's go ahead and paste it here. There we go. Okay, maybe I'm going to add a comment here that says something like attack function. Okay, there we go. So this is going to be my attack function. Now there's like a red underline here of like NPC target that is equal to cast. Okay, do I need to include something? Positive that I gotta go ahead and include my NPC, so I'm gonna go with something like hashtag include. I'm gonna go with something like a pair of double quotes npc.h. I'm gonna include the header files for my NPC. Okay, perfect. Now I should be able to use this. There we go. I can go ahead and use my NPCs as trace NPC local variable. Okay, and then let's go back to Gemini up here. There we go. I'm gonna scroll all the way down here, copy the binding, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paste my binding here. I'm gonna add a comment first, and then go under the comment, paste it here. Let's say something like bind attack or RMB input binding. Let's go with something like attack input binding. There we go. Okay, perfect. And I think I've been leaving like one space, so I might leave a one line space here as well. And guys, I'm way too exhausted. The stream just began. Let's hit Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code. Now let's open my Unreal Engine. In my Unreal Engine, I'm going to go to my content drawer, go to input, right click. I'm going to go ahead and create a action input. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and call this something like IA_attack. I want to attack clicking what button? Maybe let's go with something like attack. Okay, then I'm gonna go ahead and double click it. It is gonna be a digital boolean. Okay, because practically digital boolean is either I'm pressing a certain button or not. I'm gonna go to my IMC default. In my IMC default, I'm gonna go ahead and firstly close my IA look, create another mapping. This mapping is gonna be for my IA attack. Why does the IA look keep opening? There, now I want to go ahead and attack depending on when I click my left mouse button. That's like pretty much, that's right about it. Okay, once I'm done with that, I'm assuming I'm gonna go ahead and compile my code. So I'm gonna go with something like live compile. While it's compiling, I'm just gonna sit back and chill for a bit. I'm exhausted, I just came from college. Okay, maybe I just go all the way up here. Guys, I actually closed my tab that showed me if I compile stuff. There we go, it said live coding successfully patched. If I were to run the code, for the time being, nothing's gonna happen if I like right click my button or something. Although, if I like go ahead and scroll this up here, go to my pixel, and I type something like input in my details panel, I should be seeing an empty action inputs category here, where I go with IA attack. Now they're successfully linked, so I'm gonna go ahead and decrease my details panel, type attack, and this time I should see something. I mean, not attack, live compile. There we go. Okay, perfect. Let's wait for the live compile. Let me go ahead and get this here. There we go. It's live compiling. Okay, let's go ahead and run the code. Now, if I were to go ahead and right click, okay, I mean, I didn't say anything happened, but the right click is being executed. If I were to go to my C++, so target NPC receive hit. Okay, I should call your function. It's like, did we get an NPC? So get world trace line, I location, visibility, quit parameters. Here's the question. I did exactly what I was asked to do. I'm gonna go with Control A, Control C. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Let's paste this. Go Shift Enter and see something like say, I just copied your code to check if it actually works, and if it does, then I would have learned it. Although, what am I expecting? Question mark. Like, I created a IA_attacks input action and set it to be digital boolean, but when I compile and run the code, after setting my IA_attack in my details panel to my category of attack, is it called attack action? The category of attack action. Okay, I can move and all that, but I don't know if my attack is working. Should I like click my target NPC, which is a actor question mark? Guys, that was the fingerful to write. To type actually. Okay, you're at the brink of Trump. Is that pronounced it like Triumph? I think it's Triumph. The code is written, but the physics of the strike required your attention. The only limit to our realization of tomorrow will be our doubts of today, said by Franklin D. Roosevelt. If you have assigned your IA underscore attack and the code has compiled, your character is now armed. Here's exactly what you expect and how to test if it's hitting the mark. What to expect when you're in the game and press your attack button, left mouse button, specifically right mouse button. Here's a sequence that should trigger the invisible laser, a line shoots, blah blah blah, a message. Okay, let me see something like, since I set my attack to be my left mouse button. Yeah, my left mouse button. Hold up, let's go ahead and delete this. Okay, collision. Your NPC attack must have a collision component like a box, sphere, or static mesh. It does not have any, that makes sense. And its collision presets must be set to block or overlap the visibility channel, the cast, the code check if the actor you hit is specifically a NPC. If you're clicking on a random floor on the wall, the cast will fail into message. Okay, well, I do not add a box component. It's like, can say I did work with collision for one stream, but I forgot the logic. So what should let's go with something like so. Should I just add a collision box to my let's say actor question mark? Okay, and do I create that in Visual Studio using my box component.h question mark? Because I do know how to like add collision. That's a listen to me. College. Okay, college may have temporarily clouded your memory. That is kind of true, guys. But a true warrior rebuilds their logic until it's unbreakable. That is true as well. I fear I fear not the man who has practiced 1,000 kicks once, but I fear the man who has practiced one kick 10,000 times, said by Bruce Lee. Guys, I remember this quote. This was a pretty good quote, and I guess just like Bruce Lee special, all the quotes are said by Bruce Lee. That's the answer to your question. Yes, you need a collision component. If your NPC is just a point in space with no physical body, your line trace will pass through like a ghost. While you could add it in the editor, a master defines the anatomy of their action in Visual Studio, so they are constant every time. The anatomy of a target, adding the box, go to your NPC's header files and C++ immediately. We're going to give the NPC a physical presence in the header files. I firstly include my box component from my component. Okay, I know that part. Then I create a U component. Did work with this part as well, which is going to be categorized inside of a components category. And then I create a U box component named collision box. The constructor. So in my C++ file, under my constructor, after I think it's just under my constructor, you must birth the component here. So it exists in the actor. Okay, so firstly, I create the box. So I create a default sub object, name it collision. Root component is collision. I set my collision box. Set box extend. This is something new, and that is something new. Collision profile name. Wait, let me see something like, since for the CPP's header, didn't I need to add something like my collision box points towards, let's go with something like E. Okay, what was this? It was something like E collision. Let's go with something like collision. I forgot this part, guys. I should make videos of this stuff. E collision. What is something like E collision? Just gonna be box collision. Okay, question mark. Okay, let's see. I kind of forgot this part actually. This is why I need more practice. Focus, focus pixel. You're asking about the laws of physics that govern your virtual world to make that box tangible. Okay, you must define a relationship with the collision channels. Genius is the ability to reduce the complicated to the simple, said by C.W. Kern. Okay, you're thinking of set collision response to all channels. There we go, that was it. Okay, if you don't tell the box how to react to your visibility laser, it might just let it pass the physics settings inside your constructor NPC after you create the box, block the visible channels. So inside NPC, so set collision enabled, collision enabled, query and physics, that part is correct. Collision box, and then set collision response to all channels. ERC, okay. This is a bit different from what I've learned. Okay, maybe the thing that I probably learned one was for my actor. I'm pretty sure I need one for query only. Okay, let me say something like, let's say, for a part, did I not need query only question mark? Like for my, let's say something like collision enabled. Huh. Okay, listen to me. You're showing the intuition of blah 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 perfection and blah blah blah. Okay, I don't want to like disrespect the quote, guys. Perfection is achieved not when there's nothing more to add, but when there's nothing left to take away. I see. To answer, yes, you can use query only. In fact, the target dummy doesn't need to fall over, roll down a hill, or be pushed by the player's body. Query only is more optimal. The breakdown query versus physics. Okay, settings, no collision. Set collision enabled. Collision enabled, query only. That part is correct. Second one, set collision response to all channels. Visibility, ERC block. Maybe I'm gonna go ahead and open my channel up here real quick. Let's go with something like, okay, let's go with something like the universe collision E5. Okay, let's go here for my collision. Okay, hold up guys, give me a quick little second. Let me go ahead and just grab this here. So basically, here's the collision part. There we go. So it's set collision enabled, query only, set collision response to all channels. Let me go ahead and just change the quality to like 1080p. Okay, that's much better. And then it's something like response to all channels, ERC overlap, set generate overlap events is set to true. You cheat from Gemini, use your own brain. Guys, I'm not working on a project. I'm learning on how to like use this stuff. I cannot learn something using my own brains unless I don't have like an instructor type stuff. That said, I do think like it's kind of a waste taking like a course for this and all that stuff. So I feel like AI is like our best friend type stuff here. That said, void a 0 HP, begin play collision. Okay, let's go ahead and maybe forward this part a bit. Hold up. Let's go all the way in front. Okay, let me go all the way up here. Okay, I wish I like got my source code somewhere. Maybe let me get this in the new window. I'm just gonna be typing this part real quick. Okay, let me say something like, let's say I needed something like, okay, firstly, let's go with something like collision box. I needed something like, I'm gonna go here to my project. Maybe I'm gonna scroll all the way down here. Firstly, I'm gonna go with something like my collision box is gonna be equal to, let's go with something like a create default sub object. Okay, let's go with something like object, and then I'm gonna go with a pair of ankle braces of my U box component. Okay, then I'm gonna go with a pair of parentheses, go with something like a text. And guys, ignore all the typos. I did not include anything much here. I want to just get the rough code real quick. Let's go with something like collision box, ending with a semicolon. Then my collision box is going to be pointing towards set. Let's go with collision. Okay, enabled. I'm going to go with something like ENA PLED. There we go with the pro parentheses where I'm going to go with something like collision enabled. Okay, to be query only. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Next up, I'm going to go with something like another collision box. Let's go with something like a collision box that points towards. This time, I'm going to go with something like set collision response to all channels. Let's go with something like to all channels. There we go, which is going to be having an ERC underscore overlap. Okay, perfect. Then I'm going to go ahead and end that with a semicolon as well. Next up, I think this is going to be the last one. Let's go with something like collision box that points towards set generate overlap events. Let's go with something like overlap events, which is going to be something like true. For my generate overlap events is boolean check. Okay, and then in my begin play, I gotta go with something like this 0 HP collision. Okay, let me just copy this for now. And then let's delete this from here. Let's go ahead and decrease my video up here. Go ahead and get Gemini here real quick. You're dependent on AI for learning. It's all cheating. Read books. Try to figure it out by yourself. This is shortcut. You're using AI like spoon feeding. I mean, guys, I don't like understand the difference. Like, at the end of the day, I feel like learning is the only thing they do. If I read books, I read the documentation. It's going to take me long to understand the same concept that AI can like actually teach me easily. The way I know that AI wouldn't be teaching me the wrong stuff is because what I want to do, I can actually like, if I get the output that I expect, which means it's correct. And if it's being done easily using AI, it's like, I wouldn't read books personally, but then for like my college course, like I do have like a Python course, guys. That's what's kind of messing up with my brains too, because for my college, I'm learning Python. For my stream, I'm learning C++. There, I do read a book, and I feel like even though it's helpful, it's not like really helpful as like AI. AI explains every single questions. In the other hand, tutorials and like books, even though they give a few examples and all that stuff, and they give you like a bit more detail, it's hard for them to answer your questions. Unless you guys are like, because everyone does have like, what we call it, different perspectives of learning. And guys, AI is like already in the world, so it wouldn't be smart to like kind of push AI away. We should like augment and use them to our advantage type stuff. That said, precisely your architecting, as I pronounce it, the sense of your target. A true master knows that an actor without overlap events is like a warrior without a touch. The successful warrior is the average man with laser-like focus, guys. This is like the third time we heard this quote. That's it. However, listen to me closely. For there is a lethal error in your syntax that will bring your compiler to its knees. The correction of the code. Look at your third ERC underscore overlap. The language of Unreal, the prefix ERC, enum for collision response, not ERC. If you feed the compiler ERC, it will spit it back at you. Okay, ERC underscore overlap. Here's the corrected one. Oh, ECR. Okay, I did have a typo. And then set collision to all responses. Okay, let me say something like, so let's go with something like, I just copied that code from one of my old streams when I worked with collision. Can you help me implement that in this logic that we're working on, question mark? I just forgot the syntaxes. Okay, but I do know the logic. Because I feel like the logic is pretty universal, like all programming languages. The only thing that's different is like the actual syntax and all that stuff. That's listen to me. Forgetting syntax is a battle scar of the learning process. Even though syntax and writing code is like the easier part, the problem solving is like the harder part in programming. But the logic is the soul of the warrior. You have the right instinct, but we must refine the execution so the compiler doesn't strike you down. Don't learn anything. All these will be done by AI in a few years. You should learn farming or constructing instead. Honestly, guys, that's like one of the worst advice I've heard. Like, even though AI can actually programming all that stuff, AI does lack the power to critically think. So innovation is only going to happen with humans, because humans are going to be creating new and all that, like new things and all that stuff. In the other hand, we use AI to do the tedious tasks. For example, a task that I could spend like 3 hours writing a basic code that I already know how to do, I'm going to say AI to do that. I'm going to do the heavy thinking stuff. So we shouldn't let our guard down. We should still be critically thinking. but also learn to augment AI in our daily uses type stuff. That said, okay, repetition is the mother of learning. This is kind of true, guys. The father of action, okay, which makes it the architect of accomplishment, said by Zig Ziller. Is that how you pronounce the name? Here's exactly how to implement that collision logic in your current NPC class. I have the fixed types like ECR versus ERC. So your code is ready for glory, okay? The refined NPC constructor, npc.cpp. Go to your ANPC's class and ensure it looks exactly like this. ANPC, okay, primary actor, tick, B can never tick, true, okay? Create the box component, so I create a collision box and then I set my root component equal to my collision box's pointer. Set the physical state. Collision box points towards set collision enabled with a pair of parentheses, where I set my eCollision enabled to be query only. Set the responses. Okay, hold up, guys. Let me just go ahead and write something down real quick. Give me a sec, guys. Let's go with something like there. Okay, because I do sometimes look back on my stream, guys. Okay, that's it. Let's see. So, collision box points towards set collision response to channels ECC visibility ERC block. I have not used this before. Enable the events collision, which points towards set generate overlap events. If you want to go into innovation or research, then read papers. All these superficial codings will be done by AI only. Guys, I'm actually a complete beginner right now. It's like I'm using AI to actually learn the basics, because without actually learning the basics, I would not be able to just go and work on a project, read papers and all that stuff. I could read like all the papers in the world and all that, but unless I don't get physical hands-on practice, which AI does help me a lot with, whatchamacallit, I won't be able to learn much, because the best way to learn is by making projects and like learning stuff. That said, why this works for your system, query only keeps your game running fast by avoiding heavy physics calculations while still letting your laser hit the target. ECR underscore block on visibility, when your a pixel attack fires in its line tracing on the ECC underscore visibility channel, it needs something to stop the line. This was set to overlap the line would go right through the NPC, and your hit.getActor would be empty. Set generate overlap events. This prepares you for the future. If you want the NPC to detect when the player walks into it without a line tracing, this must be true. Sensei's final directive, check your header npc.h, ensure ubox component, okay, is represented by collision box's pointer. Include that stuff, and that's pretty much it. I will then look at the reference while writing this part, because I did like kind of forget the syntaxes here. Okay, so the easier part is, if I were to go ahead and firstly just remove these extra lines, hit Ctrl S to save the code, go to my NPC's header files. In my header files, I'm going to go ahead and create a U property. There, I want my U property to be something like visible anywhere. I want my U property to be something like blueprint read only. And lastly, I want my category, let's go with something like my category to be equal to, I don't know, maybe collision. There we go. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and let's say create or include a box component. So instead of including a box component, I'm going to create a class called something like uBoxComponent, because rather than including my entire header and like getting all my content of my headers in my actual header file, I'm just going to be creating a basic class. This is going to be uBoxComponent. Okay, not the .h, just the uBox component. Okay, perfect. And then I'm going to go ahead and create a uBox component, which is going to be represented by a pointer called something like collision box, ending with a semicolon. And then I'm going to go ahead and move on to my C++ file. In my C++ file, I'm going to go ahead and include something from my components. Let's go with something like include a pair of double quotes. I'm going to go with something like components / let's go with something like uBox component. So from my components, I included my box component here, and that's like right about it. Now, once I'm done with that, inside my constructor, this is where the newer part comes in. I'm firstly going to create a default sub object for my collision box. So my collision box is going to be pointed towards the set collision enabled. There we go, with a pair of parentheses. where I'm going to go ahead and set my e-collision to be something like query only. So I'm going to go with query only. There we go. Guys, I get like way too many typos. And did I like spell component wrong here? Let's go with something like component slash u box slash box component. Not the u, my bad, guys. From my components, I want to go ahead and include my box components as header files. Then I go with query only. Let's go ahead and end that with a semicolon. And then I'm going to go ahead and point my collision. Let's go with something like collision box towards, I don't know, maybe set collision to all channels. I'm going to go with something like set collision response to all channels. Hey, howdy Phoenix, I appreciate you joining the stream. Where do you live? Honestly, I do like live abroad, but I can't get my exact country for like safety reasons, guys. That's this is going to be e-collision enabled. Why did I just collision? There we go. Okay, perfect. And then I set collision response to all channels. Let's go with something like channels, where I'm going to be requiring a parameter of a ECR underscore overlap. And guys, here's the thing. The stuff that I'm writing here can be done in my blueprints as well, but the reason I do it in the code is because I actually like writing it. That's next time I'm going to go with another collision box. Let's go with something like collision box. I'm going to now point this towards something like the get collision response or set collision response. Okay, I have two set collision responses, or it's just me? So for my first set collision response, what up guys, let me go all the way down here. What up? There we go. Let's go all the way down here. Okay, now for my first set collision response. Okay, I gotta create a root component. I forgot my root component. That's the first mistake that I did. Okay, I didn't create a default sub object. That's the second mistake that I did. Okay, let's go ahead and firstly set my collision box. Let's go with something like collision box to be equal to the create default sub object with a pair of ankle braces, where this is going to be my uBox component. Okay, with a pair of parentheses that is going to be called something like collision box in my details panel in my Unreal Engine, or on my Unreal Engine in the editor / level. Then I'm going to go ahead and set my root component. There we go, to be equal to something like collision box. Guys, it's been a while since I worked with actors. Let's go with collision box, ending with a semicolon. Okay, and then once I'm done setting my root component, query is perfect for line tracing. Set the physical state. I set my physical state. And then next up, you must block visibility for your line tracing to work. I blocked my visibility for my line tracing to work. Well, I mean, technically I did not set everything to overlap first. I did that. Next up, I'm going to go with set collision response to all channels. Okay, that was set collision response to all channels. This is set collision response to channel. Okay. To channel. This is something new now. Set collision response to channel that requires two parameters. First is going to be an ECC underscore visibility. And I gotta check what these keywords or parameters actually mean here. And then I'll go with ECR underscore block. Okay, then let's go ahead and end this with a semicolon. Next up, enable the events. To enable my events, I'm going to go with something like collision. Oops, there we go. Let's go with something like collision box, which points towards something like set generate overlap events. Okay, set generate overlap events that requires a parameter of true, ending with a semicolon. Okay, now this pretty much like this basically looks about it. Can we do a project together? I'm from AI/machine learning domain. Eventually, I do want to implement like game logic, and maybe my next year, spoilers alert, guys. I am going to be working on a chatbot, but then that's going to be a whole different series on its own, guys. I am kind of confused. Many of you guys did say me to work with lead code and all that stuff, so I do want to actually try some lead code before I go for like another long series, because like this series, my program for like 250 series was like more than a whole, like I think it was like more than like half a year type stuff. But my next series might be longer, where I'm going to be working on an actual chat bot, because I feel like that might be a bit more complicating. Okay, so before that I might have like a mini series where I just work on lead code questions. Speaking of lead code questions, I think that's pretty much it. I'm going to go with Control A, Control C. Let's go ahead and grab Gemini here real quick. Let's go ahead and get this to the J here. Okay, let's go with something like project and then extend that part as well. There we go. Let's go ahead and extend this from the bottom too. Now I'm gonna zoom in a bit, scroll all the way down. Is there an easier way to scroll? Okay, I guess I wait for it to scroll down. Okay, while it's scrolling, there we go. I'm gonna go ahead and grab that down. Let's go ahead and paste it. Go with Shift Enter and see something like this. Hey, this is my C++ and .h files. Let me go to my .h file real quick as well. And guys, the reason I am like copying this is because I rarely work with like actors these days. So I like forgot the collision logic. Before I do implement it on my own, I do want to see, I want to like look at a reference that actually works type stuff. So where can we connect? Are you on LinkedIn? Honestly, I did not like create a LinkedIn yet. That said, I do like have a Discord so you guys can like type exclamation Discord on the chat. I do like chat with you guys in general on my Discord. That said, this is my C++ header. Is this it, or do I need to do something else? I'm pretty sure I need to do something else in my begin play here, like in my NPCs of C++ begin play. But I gotta fact check that. Okay, that is it. I did not need anything by begin play. Your code is now battle ready. You have to correctly initialize the UBox component set. It has a root component. Configure the collision box. Knowledge. Okay, knowledge is not enough. We must apply. Willing is not enough. We must do. Set by John Wolfgang One Go Hey. Is that pronounced? The final checklist before we try compile. Okay, and will control Alt F11. That does not work for some reason. So I'm going to go with something like live compile. And now I should be seeing a mini box beside my actual actor here. While it compiles, I might increase my size here. Let's go ahead and extend that. Successfully linked. And now if I were to click my NPC, I should see a collision box. I don't see a collision box. Okay, why is it that I don't see a collision box? Let's type something like collision. Okay, my set generate, is it? What's this called? Set generate event hits is, I definitely need some more code. Collision presets. Enable query only. I want a live compile again. Let's go with something like live compile. Okay, because I'm positive I'm going to be having a box collision up here. Okay, don't be worried of security. You're just a kid. I just want to connect to do project together. Honestly, yeah, we could, like, you can like join my Discord server, but then guys, there are like all sorts of people on the internet to like actually give my country all that stuff. But a quick little hint is I do live abroad. That's it. Let's go ahead and hit X. Go here. Guys, I feel like the headphones like overheating my ears. Oh, I see. Oh, guys, the basic stuff. I forgot to save my code. This is kind of embarrassing. Just forget that. Erase that off your memory, guys. Let's go with live compile again. This is going to work. Last time it didn't work because I forgot to save my code. This time I actually saved my code. Okay, let's see. Alright, perfect. Let's go ahead and extend that. There we go. Now I have a collision box up here as well. And luckily, my collision box is completely surrounded beside my actual collision object here. Let's decrease this now and run the code. Now, if I were to run the code and get close to my object, if I were to right click, I'm really colliding, right? I mean, I am colliding and my output log doesn't display an output. Let's go ahead and extend that. Okay, I did set my collision box here, but then I don't really attack my NPCs as collision box. Is it because in my attack method here, in my attack function here, right here. So there we go. In my attack function here, I got my target attack, my target NPC. Is it because that a target NPC is returned there instead of my collision box? What if I go with something like, that is target NPC, though it should be correct. NPC, target NPC. If I did go with my collision box, so I see world, blah, blah. Okay, I mean, I don't really attack my NPC, like I don't see that stuff. Okay, wait, let me say something like, so I did that and also ran the code, but when I click my target, I don't really see a text on my window. Is it because I am missing something on my NPC's begin play question mark? Okay, I didn't want to write that in caps, guys. That's it, wake up. Don't let a lack of visual feedback shake your resolve. If your code is compiling but the screen is empty, we're likely dealing with an existence crisis. Hold up, guys, my boiler's captured. There we go. Let's just go there. There we go. The greater the obstacle, the more glory in overcoming it, said by... Guys, this is a French name. It's gonna be hard to pronounce this. Morlayer, is that how I pronounce it? I think I pronounced it wrong. That's it. You asked if you're missing something in begin play. Usually begin play is for initialization, but since you're using a C++ component, the box, there's a high chance that the blueprint version of your NPC hasn't realized it has a physical body yet. The 3 reasons for the silent strike: the blueprint override, the most likely culprit. When you add a component in C++ after already creating a blueprint from that class, the blueprint can get stuck in the old version. The fix: go to your content browser, open your NPC's blueprint, look at the components list. Does collision box appear? If not, it says native. You might need to recompile the blueprint, or the worst case, create a new blueprint. The thing is, I did not create a blueprint. And guys, the one thing that does not help is I just came from college, so I'm already real exhausted. Like, I do not have strength to actually think this through from here. I mean, I do gotta do some more stuff too. I mean, that said, maybe, what if I go to a new chat? Let me create a new chat. There. Okay, it might be because I don't have a new chat. Let's go with Control-C, copy that. Let's go ahead and get Gemini here, paste it here, go with Enter. Okay, isn't there like an easy way to get this stuff out? Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here again. And guys, this is one reason why I don't really prefer my stream times after my college, because like I just work a lot from there, then I come here, so my brain is already partially kind of exhausted. Okay, let's go ahead and copy that. Let's get this here as well. Okay, can you tell your Insta ID or contact number? Honestly, you guys can get access to my Insta through the link in the description, because I do like have my Instagram and all my socials in my description. For example, if I were to go ahead and open my channel up here, there we go. If you guys go ahead and click more in my channel, you guys see like a bunch of my socials. For example, my Discord, my Instagram, my Twitch, my Twitter, my X, my bad guys, my Kick, my GitHub, my TikTok, my Trovo, and all that stuff. And also, if you guys do really want access to this stuff, let me just wrap that there real quick. Okay, I don't want to get a copyright, guys. Okay, let's go all the way up here. Let me go ahead and exit that real quick. Alright, guys, give me a quick second. There we go. Okay, now if I were to go ahead and get my chat back up here, if you guys do type something like, I got the wrong chat, guys. Get that there. There, let's get this here. If you guys scroll down to my chats, right there, and type something like exclamation socials. Okay, you guys will be getting like, it's gonna take a while, but my socials is gonna go ahead and pop up here. In the other hand, if you guys type something like exclamation Discord, my Discord link is gonna pop up here. For some reason, it's not popping up because it takes like a while. There we go. So that is my Discord, that is my Instagram, and all that stuff. Okay, you're crawling on Gemini for every step, so you don't have a core knowledge at all, just dependent on AI to satisfy your inner ego. Guys, satisfy your inner ego is kind of crazy. Probably like you weren't like here for my other streams, because like I did like write all the logic on my own. The only time I do go with AI or like any kind of help in general is when I'm learning a new topic. For example, today I'm working on raycasting that I've like never done before. For example, whenever my player like attacks my second object here, my actor here, I want to display collision text. Once I understand how the key concepts and the logic works, how raycasting works, I do apply my own logic to that stuff and work on different kinds of projects. That said, you should probably type something like exclamation socials for my Instagram. Okay, speaking of which, let me go ahead and get Gemini up here. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and get Gemini here. Let's go shift enter and see something like Sensei. Okay, those are my .h and .cpp files for my Pixel, who is my player / a character class, and the NPC is my NPC slash my actor class, where my player can move and also has a few functionalities. Let's go with functionalities. Excuse me, guys. And my NPC is sort of static. I wanted to add a attack move on my NPC, actually on my player, where when I click my left mouse button, my NPC takes damage by displaying, let's go with something like displaying a add on screen debug message. So I want to display add on screen debug message and say that NPC attacked. Okay, let's go ahead and something like enter. So I think something is wrong because when I click my NPC, I don't attack it. Guys, I have so many typos. Okay, you're good. I like your attitude. You're working hard. Honestly, I appreciate your feelings. That actually means the world to me, guys. That said, it looks like you have a solid foundation. Your attack logic and line trace codes are actually written very well if the attack isn't registering. The issue is likely not your C++ logic, but the collision settings in the camera setup. Here are 4 things you should check when your attack working, okay? To get your attack working, the collision channel, the most likely culprit. If you're an NPC constructor, you have a collision box that points towards set collision to all responses, ECC underscore visibility, ECR underscore block. In your pixel attack function, you're tracing against ECC visibility. I'm a big lazy and procrastinator. You're a big inspiration for sure. I wish I could put so much effort for my work. That actually means the world to me, guys. That said, I would like if you guys are like starting off with like C++ and all that stuff, I would like recommend to start with a roadmap. Let me know if you guys like do need the C++ roadmap that I used. I did not create an SDL or like a Unreal Engine roadmap just yet because I was just working with that, and because of my college, guys, my schedule is a bit more packed. Maybe it was my college maybe it was my college is over. I do have like spring break and all that stuff. I might actually make a roadmap for like Unreal Engine. That said, I gotta make a lot of tutorials on these things so I can like see them in the future. That's the collision channel, the most likely culprit. In your NPCs as constructor, you have a collision box, okay? In your a pixel with a scope resolution operator of attack function, you're tracing against ECC underscore visibility. The fix, ensure that your NPCs mesh or collision box in the Unreal editor is actually set to block to visibility channel. I'm pretty sure it's set. I saw that. Open your NPC blueprint, select collision box. In the details panel, look at the collision preset, set it to custom and ensure visibility is set to block. Okay. I mean, to do that, okay, the fix trace from camera's location instead of the actor's eyes. This ensures that you're hitting the character, okay, exactly where the player is looking at. Your work ethics is amazing. I should learn from you. I graduated from my college, but I can still learn. That actually sounds kind of cool. Although I wouldn't like say you guys to count on me for like learning from me just yet. Eventually, I do like actually teaching and all that stuff. So once I do master this thing and get like better at it, that's when I would be like really fun to teach. Okay, that's it. Howdy Pixels, I appreciate you joining the stream. And guys, I feel like I'm almost at my limit type stuff because like I had like a discussion for my college yesterday and like a quiz and I think a lab assignment today, so my brain is already kind of dead, so it's hard to understand these things. Okay, no, to use draw debug line, you need to include draw debug helper.h to the top of your pixel.c++. Debugging the hit, if you add the draw debug line code above, you will see a red line in your game when you click. If the line doesn't appear, your input binding is wrong. Check your attack action in the data assets, okay? If the line goes through the NPC or collision is set, I might actually watch a tutorial on this part because I think I've seen an online video where like they were showing how to do this part. Okay, that's it. Input action started versus triggered. Okay, this might be the issue actually. Hold up, guys. Okay, wait a minute. So, basically, my input is probably not registering. So, when I go to my pixels header files, I might go ahead and add something like a LMB, which is basically my left mouse button action. Hold up, guys. This is actually the reason I should have thought of this. Let's go with properties. I'm going to create a U property where I want my left mouse button. I want to be able to edit it anywhere. I want it to be blueprint read only. Let's go with something like blueprint read only. Now, here's the thing with my left mouse button. I'm going to use my action, my attack action as my left mouse button, where I'm going to go ahead and have a boolean of boolean is LMB pressed. Initially, it's not going to be pressed, ending with a semicolon. Then I'm going to go ahead and create a void function called something like LMB underscore press with a pair parentheses ending with a semicolon, and another void function called LMB underscore released. Okay, why you read out everything? Doesn't it waste your time? Lots of energy. You can work more if you work without less speaking. I mean, that actually does make sense. If I do like speak less, I would like conserve a lot of energy and like I would be like much more efficient. But then I feel like if I speak to things that keeps the stream interesting as well, rather than me not talking at all. Secondly, I do like understand better when I explain stuff. So if I read something, I can actually hear myself talk. So I feel like I might be able to read the things that I would miss when I don't read type stuff. If that made any sense, because I cannot phrase right now. Okay, that's it. I'm going to hit control. Let's go to my C++ file. In my C++ file, let's say under, maybe under my RMB functions, I'm going to go ahead and add a comment that says something like LMB functions. There, guys, how did I forget to add this part? I'm going to go with something like a void function called, actually, I'm going to go ahead and define a function that I've declared in my header file. So from my apixels class, I'm going to use a scope resolution operator to get a hold of my LMB underscore pressed function. There we go. With a pair of parentheses, then I'm going to go with a pair of curly braces. Now, inside my pair of curly braces, I'm firstly going to go ahead and do something. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and set my boolean variable of is my left mouse button pressed to be equal to something like true, because my left mouse button is currently pressed. Then I'm going to go with another void function from my apixels class with a scope resolution operator called something like LMB underscore released with a pair of parentheses. Then I'm going to go with a pair of curly braces. Now I'm going to go with something like B is LMB released is going to be set to something like true. My bad, guys. By released, I meant pressed. Okay, I'm gonna set this to be false. So when I release my left mouse button, I'm gonna set this to be false, so my left mouse button is no longer being pressed. Okay, this is going to be a pixel. Okay, gotta make sure that I don't have typos. That's where I usually mess up all the time. And now, once I've got this done, do I want to show my mouse cursor? Maybe I do want to show my mouse cursor, so void a pixel, there we go. Once I'm done with this part as well, I'm gonna go ahead and maybe implement my function here. The only time I want my attack function to work is when my left mouse button is pressed. Okay, so attack, blah blah blah. Okay, I guess I could try that. I'm gonna go with something like if a pair of parentheses, if my boolean of if is LMB pressed, if my this boolean variable is set to true, then I'm gonna go ahead and copy all this. Okay, let's go ahead and delete it from here and paste it here. There we go. Okay, that's perfect. You think reading makes the stream interesting, but it can be annoying. Also, if you want to make it interesting, you can make it more funny or comedic or ranting. You'll save energy. Also, actually, it does make sense. I've been learning jokes, but I feel like I'm just awful at them. For example, I like learning knock knock joke where it's like knock knock, who's there, blah blah. Okay, I actually forgot that joke, guys. That's it. It was like another joke. I checked this online. It was like, why do skeletons not fight with each other? Okay, well, the answer was because they don't have guts, guys. I just cannot elaborate jokes properly. I feel like I'm not a fake jokey person. That's it. This is going to be my attack action. Started. Okay, that is going to be something like attack press. I want to go ahead and okay, this is my R&B action. I need a separate look action. I might need separate button clicks. So I have a R&B, so I have something like my attack action here. I'm gonna go ahead and copy this. I'm gonna paste it down here. Let's paste it twice. I'm gonna go ahead and paste it once, paste it twice. Now this is gonna be something like LMB action. I'm gonna go with something like LMB action. Left mouse button action, ending with a semicolon. Now I'm gonna go ahead and bind a few more things. This is gonna be bind action. Gonna copy that. Gonna go and add a comment that says something like LMB input binding. Okay, and this is gonna be let's say something like triggered. Okay, perfect. Now let's go ahead and paste this here. My enhanced input action. This is gonna be LMB action. Okay, e-trigger event started. This is going to be something like my LMB underscore pressed. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy this part. And guys, the reason I am like copying this, whoops, let's go with Control C. The reason I am like copying this is to save time. I'm going to go ahead and paste this down here again. It's a bit funny, but you need to work on your humor because it actually does make sense. Like, I had like, whatchamacallit, one of my nerdy glasses for like my stream type stuff, because actually this is like blue light glasses because I don't use a blue light filter while streaming because that just dims my stream's actual display and all that stuff. So I thought to wear blue light glass. I keep forgetting it, but the thing that makes it kind of funny is because it's kind of hung above my headphones, if that makes any sense. And guys, if my jokes are completely awful right now, that is because I'm like really exhausted. Okay, gotta read my college's read it after the stream too. Okay, let's go with something like released. Okay, perfect. That's actually pretty much it. Now let's hit Control S to save the code, Control S to save the code, Control S and Control S. Let's open my Unreal Engine here. I'm gonna go ahead and live compile and hit enter. While it's compiling, I'm gonna go ahead and extend my details. Maybe truncate my details panel here. There we go. I think pixels are appreciate you joining the stream. And guys, I can actually tell you guys my next stream might be more of much better than this, because for this stream, why don't I see, am I not pointing in the right direction of my collision box? I don't see it. Whoops. Okay, just to actually make sure this works, when I really execute my code, I want to display console output. Okay. Okay, so when I go ahead and attack, I'm not only going to display G engine, I'm going to go with something like AUE underscore log. I'm going to display UE log, where my category is going to be log temp. Okay, my verbosity is going to be warning. I'm going to have a warning message, and my text is going to be a basic text of something like you attacked. There. Now let's hit Control S to save the code. First, I'm going to end this with a semicolon. There we go. Okay, and then let's hit Control S to save the code. You're so academic, trying to fit in your YouTuber life, guys. That actually does make sense. I want to actually move on with a 4.0 GPA this semester, so I need like A's in all my actual courses. It feels kind of hard. I can like tell my actual courses names, like the exact name and all that stuff, but then I feel like the only course that is kind of fun is like my programming course. Let's go with college. I mean, not college, my bad. Compile. Let's go with something like compile. Let's go with live compile. There we go. Okay, and then let's hit something like enter. Okay, now so it says result succeeded. If I were to run the code, I'm gonna go ahead and aim towards my target hit. Let's go ahead and click my UE log. It does not go ahead and display UE log, which means for some reason even though I'm clicking this button, even though I have my button clicked, it doesn't display anything. So I do not display a thing. Huh. Okay, maybe I'm going to go with Control A, Control Z, copy that. Let's go ahead and get Gemini up here. Maybe I paste this, go with Shift Enter and say something like Sensei. So I feel like my attacks are not registering ... because I am clicking my box, my let's say something like box, but it does not register my attack. I think I might know why. While Gemini is replying, I'm gonna go to my Unreal Engine. Maybe because I'm using a mesh that Unreal Engine actually gave me. Instead, I could go ahead and click my static mesh here. I might change it from a cube to something like, I don't know, maybe my boss's mesh. I did like create these things using Blender type stuff. That said, okay, now I create a whole separate mesh. This mesh does not have any kind of functionalities to it. So I'm gonna go to my NPC. Okay, I'm gonna go to my static mesh. Let's get it a bit in front. Okay, I want to just get it inside my collision box. Then I'm going to click my collision box, gonna hit something like R, and extend it. I want it to be like big, big, big. There we go. And then I'm going to hit something like W, get it a bit higher, a bit lower, a bit to the back. There, that's, whoops. What up, guys? There we go. Okay, now that's pretty much it. I'm gonna go ahead and live compile real quick. It really might be that last time I had my cube that Unreal Engine made for us, and this time I'm just going to be having a regular mesh. How much GPA you wanted at end of your college? I want to like leave with a 4.0 GPA because for the time being I do like have a 4.0, but then it kind of changes. I mean, I don't know if it's actually going to change for the time being. I feel like I am going to be making A's in all my semesters, but then maybe, just maybe, I might make it B and move on to 3.9. I want to actually make it a 4 though. That'd be kind of cool. Why does collision not work here? In my output log. Okay, actually, I might look at a few tutorials on this part because I feel like I am a bit exhausted right now. I do, whatchamacallit, need to read my chapters for like my college stuff, but then maybe because I don't have like college on the weekends, so I would like actually stream a bit sooner, maybe like my 12 o'clock or something like that. So I could have like longer stream those days. But for today, I think I do like gotta go right now. Okay, although I will like, if I had time off stream, I will be watching a few tutorials. That's it, I might read this. Hello, I see exactly what's happening here. You've added a safety check that's actually preventing that code from running. The main issue is your attack function. Set up player input component, the double gate problem, binding attack, e-trigger event, check inside your attack. If attack action and LMB action are both bound to the same mouse button. Okay, wait, hold up. I did not really create a mouse button for my LMB action. Wait, hold up, I think I see, 4.0 out of 5, I got like 8 out of 10. I mean, I feel like the max GPA here is like 4. I think it's like 4.0 the max GPA because I haven't like heard of GPA that actually is more than 4, like 5. I think it like varies between countries and countries. Like few countries have it till 4.0, few countries have it till 5. That said, I'm gonna go here. Let's go and open my Unreal Engine. Okay, I think I get why. I think I get what's happening here. There we go, action inputs. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and call this something like IA underscore LMB. Okay, which is going to be a Boolean check as well. I'm going to go to my IMC default, go with something like mapping. I'm going to create a new mapping for my IA underscore LMB. I'm going to go ahead and set this to be my left mouse button. My IA underscore attack is going to be, both are set to my left mouse button. Instead, I'm going to go ahead and delete that. I'm going to go here. Let's remove this. There we go. I'm going to go ahead and force delete this asset. And now, instead of having it triggered here, I'm going to go with started. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and copy this. Attack action. Let's go ahead and paste it here. I'm going to go with completed. There. I completed my action. So this is going to be LMB under... Oh... Okay, here's the thing. This needs to be my action. I need to tell my function what to do when a certain thing is pressed. But in this, so this should just be one. Instead, I need to create LMB actions. My look action is based on I turn. My RMB action is based on a whole separate button. Started and completed would make sense here though. I mean, sure, I could try this, but I know this won't work. Okay, okay, so you're from US, Canada, or Australia, I guess? Maybe, maybe not, guys. That's it, let's do something like controller to save the code. I want to try live compiling real quick. I'm gonna go with something like live compile. There we go. Okay, let's go ahead and compile this up real quick. Okay, it says something like results succeeded. Let's go ahead and exit. I'm positive this is not gonna work, but it's worth a shot. There we go. Okay, here's the thing. I gotta like watch a few tutorials if I had time on collision. If not, I'm gonna be going more in depth in this next stream because tomorrow I will be streaming sooner because it is like a weekend type stuff. That said, let's go ahead and get Gemini here real quick. I might want to do my outro because guys, I'm really exhausted. I was shocked that I could actually work on this long. That's it. Let's say something like, let's go with something like, I am kind of exhausted right now to figure this out. Maybe I might watch a few tutorials off stream if I did have time because I got to work on a few college subjects. That said, before I do end the stream, is there anything that you want to say to the viewers, question mark? Okay, let's see, guys. I gotta work on my typos. There are so many typos up here. Okay, that's it. But I guess get where he belongs from. Focus on the damn stream. Hey, Viv. Here again. After days. Honestly, it's been a while since I've seen you here. Inanno, is that I pronounce your name? That's it. Stop responding to these peeps. Guys, stop responding to these peeps. It's kind of crazy. That's it. Hiding Pixels. I appreciate you joining the stream. That's it. I hear you. Coding logic and collision bugs can be incredibly draining, especially honestly I don't think it's like the coding logic and like the collision bugs that's draining. I think I'm too exhausted because I just came from college. That's incredibly draining, especially when you've been staring at the same line of code for a while. It's just been an hour, guys. Stepping away to focus on your college work is a smart move. Sometimes the best debugging happens when your brain is resting or thinking something else. Since you're wrapping the stream, here's a message for our viewers. Hey everyone, thanks so much for hanging around. Guys, I did not. Okay, I forgot this this is a new chat, so I didn't give Gemini my actual prompt. Speaking of which, let's go to my OBS real quick. I'm going to go to my main camera. Alright guys, so that's pretty much it for the stream. Let me know if my glasses look good on me. I think the blue eye glasses are like pretty good, but if I remove it, it's like exactly the same thing. I just don't have like a filter. Like if I get this closer, can you guys see like how I see beside the glasses being like absolutely nasty? Okay, that's it. I mean, I'll just keep this here. That's it, guys. That was pretty much it for the stream. I did like just stream for like an hour and 18 minutes. Usually I stream for like 2 hours, and maybe on a good day when I'm like completely free and all that stuff and I have like a lot of content to go over. I think like before I used to like stream for 5 to 6 hours. I don't know what happened. I stopped it. I like dragged it down to like 2 hours to like not completely exhaust my brain type stuff. That said, if you guys did enjoy the stream, don't forget to like, share, subscribe, like, helps my algorithm, share, make you smile, and subscribing so I get you on top. That said, I just started multi-streaming on Twitch, YouTube. I will start multi-streaming on Instagram and TikTok as well if I did meet the followers requirements. So if you guys really enjoy my content and haven't followed me there, make sure to follow me there. The link will be in the description, and you guys can get access to my Discord server by tapping !Discord on chat, or by clicking the link in the description. And also, you guys can get access to my Instagram by tapping !Socials on chat. Same goes. You guys can go in the link. You guys can like go to the link in the description, all that stuff. That said, I'll catch you guys in the next live stream or video. Peace.